The future is female. Questions that are often raised are, what exactly is feminism? And why do so many people choose to identify with, or in contrast, oppose the word defining the movement towards gender equality? According to this excerpt from Bell Hooks' novel, Feminism is for Everybody, Passionate Politics, simply put, feminism is a movement to end sexism, sexist exploitation, and oppression. Practically, it is a definition which implies that all sexist thinking and action is a problem, whether those who perpetuate it are male or female, child or adult. It is also broad enough to include an understanding of systemic institutionalized sexism. As a definition, it is open-ended. To understand feminism, it implies one has to necessarily understand sexism. Any opposition to considering oneself a feminist often derives from a fundamental misunderstanding of the principle of feminism as man-hating or something solely for women. However, this is a false notion, an assumption, and I believe the more people who become involved in this highly significant ideology and movement, the better. Another question which is often raised is, if it's meant to benefit everyone, why is it called feminism? Shouldn't it be called humanism, equalism, or egalitarianism? So while I understand where this argument is coming from, my explanation is that humanism is an entirely different thing, which refers to the beliefs of human reason during the Renaissance era. And seeing as that females have long endured oppression in our patriarchal society, I think it's only right that said movement is more associated with the oppressed gender. However, it is my belief that in oppressing one, others fall victim to the constraints of oppression as well. I would also like to accentuate that feminism is not a dirty word, nor is it solely inclusive of women. As a woman and a person, I believe strongly that I deserve equal treatment and respect, and it would only make sense for me to strive for others, to desire to strive for an improved state of equality and oppression of others. Intersectional feminism and combating exclusivity. Furthermore, feminism has many definitions and personal implications as to what it means to be a feminist. Feminism to me can be very different from feminism to you, and that's perfectly okay. While a simple definition of feminism may be the radical notion that women are people, it is important to distinguish this from intersectionality. Intersectionality is defined as the promotion of an understanding of human beings as being shaped by the interaction of different social locations such as race, ethnicity, gender, class, sexuality, geography, age, disability, ability, migration status, and religion. These interactions occur within a context of connected systems and structures of power, for example, laws, policies, state governments, and other political and economic unions, religious institutions, and the media. Through such processes, interdependent forms of privilege and oppression shaped by colonialism, imperialism, racism, homophobia, ableism, and patriarchy are created. Put simply, according to an intersectionality perspective, inequalities are never the result of a single distinct factors. Rather, they are the outcomes of intersections of different social locations, power, relations, and experiences. I am asserting the idea of intersectional feminism through Bell Hooks' beautiful definitions because of the multitudinous definitions and connotations of feminism, which are unique and highly individualized. I believe and identify with her perspective on this ideology. Unfortunately, in many cases, Feminism is associated with a glorified radical movement led by the privileged, often white women to benefit themselves, in which the crusade for their rights and ending sexism neglects the struggles of others in need of aid and fails to acknowledge the roots of such issues. Likewise, perspectives of women cannot be generalized as universal. Much like any individual experience, cannot be entirely understood by others despite empathy. Thus, it is quintessential to consider how one woman or person's reality is not the same as the experience of women as a collective group. Hence, I strongly urge you all to reflect on the idea that we as a species should not and cannot move on without recognition and eradication of sexism and other underlying problems which pollute the welfare, equality, and quality of the lives of ourselves and others. Education and working towards equality and awareness. Finally, with the future in forethought, there is currently not a single country which equality has been attained. Despite protests and progress in equality and rights, the prevalence of the patriarchy, institutionalized sexism, and racism remain rampant throughout all too many aspects of society. However, it does not imply by any means that we should remain complacent and turn a blind eye to such important issues. And with an increase in more widespread education and opportunities, the world can strive towards equality and establish a better understanding of current social structures. The idea I would like to emphasize is that we cannot all succeed when half of us are held back, as stated eloquently by Malala Yousafzai. Moreover, there will be no mass-based feminist movement as long as feminist ideas are understood by only a well-educated few, which is the primary reason for my focus on advocating for intersectional feminism. And in advocating for awareness and creating a well-educated audience in public, my hope is that people will recognize the relevance and significance of this issue. Furthermore, as stated by Nelson Mandela, freedom cannot be achieved unless the women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression, which I would like to add extends to others as well. Therefore, intersectional feminism is a very critical component to truly making any progress in universal equality and freedom. Thank you.